The requirement that employees exercise independent control implies the following actions. A participant or beneficiary exercise control only if he or she has a reasonable opportunity to give investment instructions to an identified plan fiduciary and may receive written confirmation of those instructions. So with today's technology, this was written many years ago, obviously. That means the participant does have the opportunity to change investments and to select investments and to get confirmation that it has occurred. He or she is given enough information to make informed decisions about the plan's investment options or has the opportunity to obtain such information. So this informed decision is not entirely described or defined. This requirement, therefore, is somewhat ambiguous and can be continuous. The assumption, which has not yet been tested in court, is that the vendor delivering the information in regards to investment choices is providing the information, or at least is providing access to the information. But what constitutes enough information? The requirement that employees exercise independent control implies the following actions. A participant or beneficiary exercises control only if he or she has a reasonable opportunity to give investment instructions to an identified plan fiduciary and may receive written confirmation of those instructions. So with today's technology, this was written many years ago, obviously. That means the participant does have the opportunity to change investments and to select investments and to get confirmation that that has occurred. He or she is given enough information to make informed decisions about the plan investment options or has the opportunity to obtain such information. So this informed decision is not entirely described or defined. This requirement, therefore, is somewhat ambiguous and can be contentious. The assumption, which has not yet been tested in court, is that the vendor delivering the investment choices is providing this information or at least is providing access to the information. But what constitutes enough information to make an informed investment decision? Do you believe your participants in any one particular plan are making consistently informed investment decisions, i.e. prudent investment decisions? I would guess that there are no plans that would affirm that question. Do you believe your participants are receiving sufficient information to make their investment decision? That's hard to say. They're certainly receiving some information on the website. Is it sufficient to make an informed decision? Well, the court will eventually determine that. This issue may be quantifiable eventually, but is subject to some degree of interpretation at this point. Here are some examples of provisions of appropriate information to participants to make informed investment decisions. One is a description of the annual operating expenses of each investment option that reduce the rate of return and the aggregate amount of such expenses expressed as a percentage of average net assets for each investment option. Copies of any prospectuses, financial statements, and reports, and any other materials reflecting each investment option. And a list of assets comprising the portfolio of each investment option and the value of such assets. These are required distributions in terms of compliance with Section 404C that documenting if a plan provides an opportunity to exercise investment control over plan assets, and their assets are shown in the following chart. So under the terms of the plan, do participants and beneficiaries have the opportunity to give investment instructions to an identified plan fiduciary in writing or otherwise, and the opportunity to obtain written confirmation of those instructions? If yes, then we go to the next step. If not, then plan participants do not have the ability to exercise independent control. So the next step is the plan fiduciary obligated to comply with the investment instructions unless the fiduciary is permitted to refuse or implement those instructions? If no, again, we have to follow down the chart to make further determination. If yes, we proceed the participants provided and have the opportunity to obtain sufficient information to make informed investment decisions about the investment options available under their plan. For example, do they receive information required to be disclosed and information that must be available upon request? If no, we have a quantified it further. If yes, we move down the chart, or the plan's charges for expenses reasonable. If yes, we move down the chart again. With respect to the exercise of voting, tender, or similar voting pertinent to the plans, where beneficiary's ownership and an investment is a participant, or the beneficiary's investments the result of an exercise of control, and was the individual provided a reasonable opportunity to give instructions with respect to such incidents of ownership? If all of the above is yes, we can conclude that the participants have the exercise of control and that they have the ability to exercise this independent control.